Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I have a very simple strategy for you all. It's called the red black selection roulette strategy. So I'm going to be focusing more on the bet selection rather than the betting progression. Now you can use any betting progression that you want. You can look at my other videos. You can look at a betting progression that is require a much smaller bankroll. Now I am just using a 500 unit bankroll for this video because I don't want to keep the video too long. So basically, as you can see in the chart there, displaying the bet selection for every number that comes up. So you're just going to follow that. So there's a six selection for every number. If you continue to lose, you follow the selection on that number, and if you have a win, then you go to the new number and you start at the first bet. So let's get started. As we go along, I'll show you exactly how the betting selection works. So as I said, you can choose any betting progression that you want, but I'm just going to use a very simple betting progression for this video, and as I go along I'll explain how it works. So let's just force a spin and get started. I'll show you exactly how the bet selection works. You're basically just going to follow what is on the chart there. Now that bet selection displaying in the chart is only for the European wheel, the single zero wheel. So I just want to make that clear. So we have number 23. The first bet tells us to bet on red. So we're going to place 1 unit on red. We started with a 500 unit bankroll. Now as I said, you can use less than that. You can use a different betting progression. If you look at my other videos, I have a betting progression requiring a very small bankroll. As long as you have the patience, you can use that. So our second bet tells us to go on black. So I'm just going to increase 1 unit. And I have a hit on black, so I'm in 1 unit profit. The winning number that came is number 29. The first bet tells us to go on black. I place 1 unit on black. And I have a hit. I'm up 2 units in profit. So the last outcome is number 15. So I have a win. I'm going to number 15. I'm going to follow the selections for number 15. The first bet is black. I place 1 unit on black. I'm playing for anything above 2 units profit. My overall target per session is 10 units. If I make 10 units profit, I am going to take a break, a 5-10 minute break, and come back again. The whole idea is to make, let's say if you can make 20 units per hour. So number 17 came. First bet is black. So the good thing with this selection, when there's a streak, you'll always catch all the streaks. As you can see, we had a little streak on black there. We caught all. So we're going to follow the selection for number 17 because we lost. Our second bet tells us to bet on red. So I'm just going to increase 1 unit. I go on red, playing for anything greater than 4 units profit. My overall target is 10 units. So I lose. So my third bet tells me to stay on red. So I increase with 1 unit. My fourth bet tells me to bet on black. So I increase 1 unit again to my bet. Now you can use this betting progression if you like. You don't necessarily have to use a $500 bankroll. Remember, units can be anything. You can use a 25-cent base bet or 50-cent base bet. It all depends on the funds that you have. So I have a win. I was betting 4 units. I am down. I'm playing for anything above 4 units profit. So my last bet was 4 units. I'm going to increase by 1 because I'm down. The last outcome is number 22. The first bet tells me to bet on black. I place 5 units on black. And I have a hit. I'm up to 7 units in profit. So I'm going to go back to betting 1 unit. So 8 just came. I'm going to bet 1 unit. I'm going to follow that selection there. Those are 6 bets or until I have a win. So I have a win again. I'm up 8 units profit, playing for 10 units per session. Number 29 came. I'm going to follow that selection where 29 is located. The first bet tells me to bet on black. Place 1 unit on black and I lose. Second bet tells me to bet on black. I increase my bet 1 unit. I lose again, playing for anything greater than 8 units profit. So I'm still following the selection with number 29 because I haven't had a win. So the third bet tells me to bet on red. So I'm going to place 3 units on red. And I have a hit on red, but I'm still not in profit. I'm back at 8 units. Now you can restart if you're using this bet progression, this betting progression that I'm using. Now you can restart at 1 unit because you're breaking even, but I'm just going to raise my bet by 1 unit and continue with 4. So I have a win on number 19, so I'm going to follow the bet selection for number 19. The first bet tells me to bet on red, so I'm going to continue. I'm betting 4 units. As I said, you don't necessarily have to bet 4 units. You can go back to 1 unit if you like. Now I have a hit, so I've made my target. I've crossed 10 units profit. This is where I take a break, 5-10 minute break, and I come back again. But I'm just going to force a spin and pretend that I took a break. Now you are not going to do that. You are actually going to take that break, that 5-10 minute break. So I'm playing for, I'm up 12 units in profit. I'm looking for another 10 units profit. I place my bet on number 30 came. The first bet is red. I place 1 unit on red. My target is 22 units profit. That's my overall target for this session. So I'm following the sequence for number 30. It tells me to bet on red again. I increase my bets by 1 unit. I lose. The third bet tells me to go on black. So I place 3 units on black, playing for anything greater than 12 units. So I have a hit on black. Now I'm breaking even. As I said before, you can go back to betting 1 unit, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to increase my bet. So I'm looking at number 2. That's the last outcome. I had a win there, covering the number 30 selection. So I'm now moving to the number 2 selection. The first bet tells me to go on black. So I'm just going to place 4 units on black. You don't have to do that. As I said before, you can go back to betting 1 unit. So I have a win. Now I'm in profit. I'm up 16 units. I'm going to follow the sequence for number 33. It tells me to bet on black. I bet 1 unit on black. So I'm in profit, so I can go back betting 1 unit. I'm playing for anything greater than 16 units. I have a hit. I'm up 17 units. I follow the sequence now for number 8. It tells me to bet on black. Playing for anything greater than 17 units. I have a hit again. I follow the sequence for number 11. It tells me to bet on black. So I'm up 18 units. My overall target is 22 units. I have a hit again. Number 35 tells me to bet on black. That's my first bet. Place 1 unit. I'm up 19 units in profit. This is just a few minutes, guys. So I lose. My second bet tells me to bet on red. I place 2 units on red. I spin. Anything greater than 19 units in profit. I lose on my second bet. My third bet tells me to bet on red again. I increase by 1 unit. I lose on my third bet. My fourth bet tells me to bet on black. So I'm betting 4 units on black. I'm glad I'm having this losing streak, guys. So you can see how the progression works, how the bet selection works, sorry. You can use any bet progression that you like. So I have a hit there. Now I'm down. I was up at 19 units. I'm down to 17 units. I was betting, my last bet was 4 units. So I'm just going to increase by 1. So number 29 came. I'm going to follow the sequence for number 29 now. My first bet is on black, and I have a hit on black. My overall target is 22 units. I have made that 22 units target. So now this is where you take a break again. I am just going to force a spin. Remember guys, you are not going to just force a spin. You are going to actually take that 5 or 10 minute break and then come back again. Don't as I mentioned in my previous videos, you're not if there is such a thing as the wheel tracking you, you're not going to give that wheel a chance to do that. You're going to take your breaks after every 10 units profit that you make. As you can see, we're already up 22 units guys. That's just a few minutes, so it won't kill you to take a 5-10 minute break. Let the wheel produce some spins where you're not betting. It can't track you. So my first bet is on black. So I'm following the sequence for number 17. My second bet tells me to bet on red. I increase my bet by 1 unit. I'm playing for anything greater than 22 units profit. My overall target for this session will be 32 units. So my third bet tells me to bet on red. I increase my bet by 1 unit. As long as I get over 22 units profit, I'm going to go back to betting 1 unit in profit. Now I haven't crossed 22 units in profit. I'm back breaking even. As I said, you can go back to 1 unit. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to continue. The first bet on number 1 tells me to bet on red, so I'm just going to increase 1 unit. You guys play it safe, and when you're breaking even, go back to betting 1 unit. So my second bet tells me to bet on black. So this, I'm following the sequence for number 1, playing for anything greater than 22 units. So I have a hit there. Now up 23 units in profit. So I'm just going to go back betting 1 unit. Number 8 was the last outcome. I'm going to follow the sequence for number 8. My first bet is on black. Playing for anything greater than 23 units. I have a hit. I'm up 24 units. Number 35 came. First bet tells me to go on black. I place 1 unit on black. Playing for anything greater than 24 units. And I lose. So I'm going to follow that sequence for number 35 because I haven't had a win yet. So the second bet tells me to go on red. I place 2 units on red. And I lose on my second bet. My third bet tells me to bet on red. So I increase 1 unit, playing for anything greater than 24 units. So I have a hit on red. I'm back at 24 units. You can restart at 1 unit. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to rebet at 1 unit again. So number 12 came. My first bet is on red. My overall target is 32 units. So I lose on my first bet. My second bet tells me to bet on red again. So I place 1 unit. I increase 1 unit to my bets. So I have a hit on red. I'm up 25 units. So I'm going to restart using 1 unit. So number 25 came. My first bet is on red. Playing for anything greater than 25 units and an overall target of 32 units. So I have a hit on red. Number 9 came. My first bet is on red. Anything greater than 26 units. So I have a hit again. Number 7 came. My first bet is on red. Anything greater than 27 units profit. And I'm having a winning streak here. I don't want to have a winning streak. I want to have a losing streak to go a little more in depth with the bet selection. So I'm up 28 units. Number 23 came. So I place 1 unit. on red. That is my first bet. Playing for anything greater than 28 units. Okay, great. So I lose. My second bet tells me to bet on black. I lose again. My third bet tells me to bet on black. So I increase my bets by 1 unit. I have a hit on black. So I'm back to 28 units profit. The last outcome was number 11. Now I had a win when I was covering the sequence for number 23. So I'm not on that sequence anymore. I'm going to move to number 11 sequence because I had a win. So I'm going to, my last bet was 3 units. I'm going to increase by 1. So I'm going to follow the sequence for number 11 now. My first bet is on black. And I have a hit on black. So I was playing for 32 units profit in this session. I've made that 32 units. So let's just try one run again, guys, and see if we can get a little losing streak going. So I'm going to force a spin, pretend that I took a break of 5 to 10 minutes. As I said, guys, you are going to take that break. Don't do what I'm doing here and just force a spin. So number 35 came. My first bet is on black, playing for anything greater than 32 units. My overall target for this session is 42 units, paying for 10 units profit on every session. So my second bet tells me to bet on red. I place 2 units on red. So I lose again, so that's great. I'm having that losing streak now. Let's hope it continues. My third bet tells me to bet on red. So I increase by 1 unit. And I have a hit. Okay, so I'm going to follow the sequence for number 12. My first bet is red. I'm breaking even. So I was at 32 units. I'm back at 32 units. My last bet was 3 units. I'm going to increase by 1. So I'm betting 4 units. I'm following the sequence for number 12. The first bet is red, and I lose on my first bet. My second bet tells me to bet on red again, so I increase by 1 unit. So I have a hit. So I'm up 33 units. I was playing for anything greater than 32. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to restart using 1 unit. So 36k, my first bet is on red, playing for anything greater than 33 units. My overall target is 42 units. I have a hit. First bet on number 23 sequence is red. I'm up 34 units. So I lose on my first bet. My second bet tells me to go on black. I place 2 units on black. And I have a hit. I'm up 35 units. So I'm going to just go back, betting 1 unit again. Number 33 came. The first bet is black, playing for anything greater than 35 units. And I lose on my first bet. My second bet tells me to bet on red. Now remember, guys, you can use any betting progression that you like. Something that requires a smaller bankroll, you can use that. I mean, you would have to play a little bit longer, have a little more patience, but you won't be risking a lot. So I'm up at 36 units. Number 36 game. First bet tells me to bet on red, playing for anything greater than 36 units. I lose. My second bet tells me to bet on black. So I lose on my second bet. My third bet tells me to bet on red. I increase my bet by 1 unit and I lose again, so that's great. My fourth bet tells me to bet on black, so I increase again 1 unit. I have a hit on black. Number 11 came, so I'm going to follow that sequence now. The first bet tells me to bet on black. I increase my bet by 1 unit. I'm playing for anything greater than 36 units. My overall target is 42 units. I lose. I'm following the sequence for number 11. It tells me to bet on black again. I increase my bets by 1 unit. So I have a hit. I'm now following the sequence for number 28. Now I was at 36 units profit. I'm back at 35. What I'm going to do here, you don't necessarily have to do it, especially if you are using a small bankroll. So number 28 came. The first bet on number 28 is black. I am just going to increase my bets. I'm betting 7 units on black. Now remember, you're up at 35 units, you're just 1 unit down. You don't need to do this, but I'm just showing you, if you have the bankroll or if you are playing with a lower base bet and you want to bet the 7 units, you can do it. But if you're losing 1 unit or breaking even, you can just restart. Play it safe always, guys. Don't ever take a risk that you don't have to take. So in this circumstances here, it worked out. I got the hit, but it won't work out every time. So I'm up to my 42 units in profit. I've made that target that I was looking for. This is just a few minutes of playing. I don't think we have even played an hour yet. So you already made a 42 units profit. Now remember, guys, as I said, units can be anything. If you were using a $1 wager, you have just made $42. Let's just say we have been playing for an hour. You have made $42 an hour. Now the average hourly rate, it goes around $20–25 an hour. So if you're making $42 an hour, guys, that's really good. But remember, roulette is a risky and unpredictable game, so always play responsibly. Never use money that you can't afford to lose. Now even if you'll be using a 25-cent base bet, you would still make $10. You know, that's 42 divided by 4, so you would still make over $10 an hour. So that's still good. And as you can see, we haven't been playing for an hour. So I hope you guys enjoy this strategy. It's basically the bet selection that I brought here to you guys. You can use any bet progression that you like. There is some very powerful bet progression that I use in my previous videos. You can check those videos out and you can find something suitable for you and the bankroll that you have. But for this video, I started with a 500 unit bankroll. I'm up to 542. I've not any point in time I've risked my bankroll. As you can see, I made bets that I didn't need to make. I could have restarted betting 1 unit, but I chose not to, just not keep this video too long. So I hope you guys enjoy the bet selection that I brought to you here in this video. I hope you guys are well. I hope you all are staying safe, and I thank you all so much for watching and all the support that you have shown me, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Have a good one.